Here we go.
My name is Costin Laurențiu. I came to Canada 19 years ago with a bursary to study, and 2 business degrees later, and a lot of experience in large organizations, in small organizations. I'm running a startup from Toronto. It's called CloseHound. And perhaps a little bit of information about it before we proceed. I would have preferred for the presentation to have been live on the internet for me to show you the actual site, because I think that would have been more appropriate. But we're still sticking, I guess, to the technology of PowerPoint, and hopefully next year, as more companies that are web-based would participate, we can enable this technology as well. Having said that, so the idea of CloseHound was born out of the need for people to access information very quickly. We cater to lawyers, and so we identified the need of lawyers having access both to contracts and to various language explaining various concepts in the legal field. And this is how the website was born about a year ago. Then we thought about, okay, this is language, but how do we provide a better value proposition for the lawyers? And when we looked at what lawyers do, we realized that they create documents, which is the contracts and all the ancillary documents, and then they review documents created by other people. And so in this context, if we can go to the next slide, there was not a consolidated database of information, almost like what the Wikipedia did in the world to revolutionize the way information is being accessed. This is our vision right now. So when we looked at what lawyers do as far as the creation of the documents, we thought, let's provide templates online with all sorts of contracts. Let's provide additional language that they can use the technology on the web to insert the language into a contract. And then they'll email it to themselves in a Word file. The contract is 95% there. All you have to do is just put in the client's name and then sign. And then on the flip side, if we can go to the next page, we have a tool that analyzes language. I will ask in Berlin if you can switch to the next slide. We have a tool online that analyzes language, and so you copy and paste a contract onto our website, you click a button, and you get a report essentially as to what the contract contains, but equally important, what is missing. And this is a great tool we find with lawyers who are either fairly new in the field of practicing law, or with people who are understaffed, so they don't have resources. We looked at the market and we identified that the large organizations have access to resources. They typically have departments that do research for the lawyers, so they can keep up with changes in the law. They keep up with best practices in the marketplace and so forth. Sometimes research is needed to go even outside of the legal field, specifically for cases. But the solo lawyers and the small firm lawyers don't have access to such resources, and so we anticipate to be that provider to them. So a little bit of stats.
It's on this tablet.
Mr. Zalterberg said that he was in discussions with the Vatican City about technologies. We are very proud to say that the Vatican City checked us out as well. People register on the website, so we always do some research ourselves to understand who they are. We have about 125,000 visitors thus far on the website since our launch in September last year. And I have some statistics which are not on the screen, but I have almost 1,400 people from Germany who have checked us out, from Bavaria, from North Rhine-Westphalia, Hesse, Baden-Württemberg. Berlin obviously is a place that generates traffic for us, but so is Munich, München, Frankfurt, and Hamburg. We managed to have people spend more time on the site, and I'll show you in a bit. But if we can go to the next slide, I'll show you how we anticipate this to work. So we'll take you step by step. Raja, can you go up one more behind? We'll show you step by step how you access the website and you have a contract. This is in the upper left-hand corner. You see a contract just as any lawyer would. The next slide would show you how we have on the left a framework of the document. So it always gives you like a table of contents, effectively, that tells you what the contract has or should have. In the lower left-hand corner, you identify language that you want to insert, and you insert it in the actual contract, and everything is highlighted in yellow, both on the screen. And final picture, lower right-hand side, is you literally click a button to email that to yourself, and the contract arrives in a Word file, also with all the changes highlighted in yellow, so to make it very easy for lawyers to customize. On the next slide, I'm giving you a sense for the document analysis tool. So the 4 pictures that you see on the screen refer to the creation of documents. On the next page, we see the analysis of a document. And literally, we have a contract on the left-hand side. Apologies, you might not be able to see it very well. It's just a regular contract. You upload it on the site, you click a button, and then you get a report that shows you, again, the elements inside the contract, but also what's missing. So, you know, very simply put, in a contract that's perhaps an agency agreement, just a random example, you may have 3-4 pages, so reviewing the contract would not be as difficult. But when you have a lease agreement, for example, for leasing a space and so forth, sometimes the contracts would run into 200 pages easily. So rather than spending hours upon hours upon hours, which are obviously billable to the client, on analyzing the document, this tool effectively gives you in seconds that report as to what you have and what you don't have. On the next slide, we show how we make the offer even more robust to the to our users. So it's not enough to have documents that you customize or to have this tool, but rather the value add also comes from collaborators from all over the world that provide us the actual contracts. So what in IT we refer to crowdsourcing. They provide us content, and then we use our internal teams of lawyers to cleanse the material, remove all the client names and all the other details specific to a deal, and then we post stuff online. So people provide commentary for us, they provide question and answers, and then we take it a step further and do analysis of cases that are being heard in courts that interpret the laws, and also news articles. And one thing that's really interesting is you may wonder, how do we break the barrier of different legislations with these contracts? And the answer for is rather easy. when you think of a contract has several core elements, core concepts that are universal. So if I take an employment agreement, perhaps that anyone can relate to, an employment agreement would invariably have 6 parts. You would have what your title is, your salary, when you start, who you report to, what the benefits are, and then the termination. And no matter what legislation you are in the world, no matter whether it's the civil code or the Napoleonic code, and our website is only in English, but arguably it can be customized to any language in the world. Those 6 elements will be invariably appearing in all employment contracts, and this is the appeal of our site. As I said, 125,000 people checked us out, so I guess we're into something. On the next page, we say simply that we intend to make the Davids of the world take over the Goliath. We allow the solo and small firm lawyers to access bigger arenas. Next slide. We show traffic on the website, which is impressive, as well as time that people spent on it. And the top 10 cities, unfortunately, I don't see a German city in the top 10, mostly explained by the fact that our website is in English, but I do hope that perhaps this introduction to the German-Canadian concourse presentation would help remedy that. On the next slide, the team, we're 6 people plus additional staff that work and report directly to the 3 lawyers that we have on the team. And on the next slide, we invite any questions that you may have, and of course, to check us out. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Kostin. And as before, there's no room for questions or comments or whatever is on your mind. Yeah, Matthias.
Yeah, Matthias Möck, Canada meets Germany. Kostin, thank you for the presentation. I understand your platform is basically providing a way to structure a contract with building blocks that is reflecting what I want to put into the contract. If I'm now thinking that I want to do business with somebody who's using your platform as well, are you thinking about having a tool to check a contract, which might not arrive as a PDF, but in these building blocks from a partner, that your platform is checking this upon consistency or hidden tricks or so as a next step? So basically not creating your own contract, but checking contracts coming in from outside?
Oh, forgive me. So I think I may have missed this in the presentation. When I said that we have a tool to create contracts and also a tool to analyze contracts, the analysis is not for our contract, it's for the contracts from the outside. So because we cater to lawyers, any lawyer who's registered on the website, and registration is free, you can put in a contract in there, and the tool essentially tells you, analyzes the document, and this is not a document that we necessarily have created. It's something that they bring from, another lawyer that has drafted that contract.
Thank you. We have another question here.
Hi, Kostin. This is Michael from Beyond Philanthropy in Berlin. I'm just curious about the branding. How did you come up with the branding and the dog? That strikes me for something about contracts.
I'll give this to Raja because he's got a little bit more history on this.
I think the dog is just beautiful, and I think it just resonated really well with the team. Nice to see you.
All right. Any more comments, questions? One more.
Hi there, my name is Jurian de Bruin. I work in the aerospace sector, but that's not why I'm asking this. I'm doing an MBA and interested in doing a startup. I'm just wondering about liability. I mean, the customers are paying for your services. Do you accept liability for what comes out of your product?
Do you want me to take that one as well?
Yeah.
So the target client is or customer is a lawyer, not the end user. So the idea is if you're a lawyer, then you're vetting the documents yourself anyway. And then there's disclaimer language on pretty much every page on the site saying, check with your lawyer, but ultimately you should be a lawyer if you're using the site.
Okay. Thank you very much, Kostin. Thank you very much, Raj.
Thank you.